Before we get into the latest news and rumors surrounding the New York Knicks, I wanted to make a deal or a challenge with you guys. Whoever comments real one the most in the comment section, I'm going to give you a special shout out on the live show when we go live on Wednesday. So whoever comments real one down in the comment section the most, I'm going to show you some love. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We have a loaded show today. Are the Toronto Raptors about to trade for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? We're going to break that down on the show because, look, I don't think the Knicks can afford to let another star player go from the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference and they not end up on the New York Knicks. We're going to take a look at my power rankings for the Eastern Conference in the preseason. But first, let's get to what's coming out of Knicks training camp. Did Derrick Rose call out Julius Randle when he spoke to the media at a press conference? Because look, he made some comments and Knicks Twitter, Knicks YouTube, it went up in a frenzy. Everyone thought that Derrick Rose was talking about Julius Randle. Let's see what he said, and let's really find out what he was talking about. He said, I think what this year's all about is accountability. Like being able to not get in your feelings or taking it personal when somebody's coming over and giving you constructive criticism. As a man and as a professional, you're supposed to understand that. Y'all can't talk shit back to each other here and now not get mad. But you leave it out on the court after practice or after that game or after that moment. If the last guy can't tell the star that you missed a coverage, something's wrong. And it's vice versa. You should be able to take that and understand, I got you, instead of being mad. He's 100% talking about Julius Randle. Accountability, not getting in your feelings, being able to take constructive criticism. Derrick Rose, ever since he came over from the Detroit Pistons in that trade, has stepped up as the vocal leader for the New York Knicks. He is the captain of this team. He's the guy that all the young guys look up to. And if there's anybody on this team that can get in Julius Randle's face and get him to stop acting like a baby, it's Derrick Rose, the guy that won the MVP at the youngest age in NBA history. Rose has the type of credibility, and he stands on a pedestal to these guys. One of the best players to ever touch a basketball. He's the guy that I feel like can hold Julius Randle accountable. That's what I want to see from Derrick Rose this season. Don't let Julius Randle do the BS that he did last season. I do think, and if you've been watching the show, you know this, I think Julius Randle can get back to being that guy this year. Look, he was awesome in 2020. 20 points, 24 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. His raw stats this year were good. 20 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 5 assists. But it's the efficiency. You can't go from being a 41% three-point shooter to a 31% shooter. And I'm not so much mad at the stats. It's the fact that Julius Randle let his lack of efficiency affect his game in other areas. It let him alienate himself from the team and the fan base and all these things on screen. He wasn't a good teammate. He let his poor play affect his teammatesmanship, if that's even a word. It let him affect that. Look, the thumbs down, the Rudy Gobert fight, the Cam Johnson fight, career high 12 technicals. The dude was texting in press conferences after the games, slapping the laptops out of coaches' hands, all these stuff on screen. That's what pisses me off the most. But I have hope that Julius Randle can get back to being that elite player he was, because when he plays with a true point guard, he's able to be the best version of himself. And right now, the Knicks are the deepest I think they've ever been in my lifetime of being a Knicks fan at the point guard spot with Jalen Brunson and Derrick Rose. Look at the efficiency differences when Derrick Rose played with Julius Randle or when Randle played without Rose. Look, he had a bad year last year, but in the 26 games he played with Derrick, he shot 43% from the field and 36 from three. Without him, he was a dumpster fire, 40% from the field and 27% from three. I really do believe that Julius Randle is going to bounce back this season. I'm not saying he's going to be that same top 10 MVP guy, second team All-NBA, and the most improved player. But can I get a season where Julius Randle shoots 45% from the field in, let's say, 35, 36% from three, I think that's doable. He doesn't need to carry the burden of carrying this offense night in, night out. We have guys that can do that now. And Jalen Brunson, and RJ Barrett, and Derrick Rose, and Emmanuel Quickley, and Obi Toppin. He can take off the cape. He doesn't have to be Superman anymore. And that, to go along with the fact that he has point guards to set him up, I think Randle bounces back and proves a lot of Knicks fans wrong this year. But I want to ask you guys this question. Are you giving Julius Randle a clean slate? Like, are you going to root for him? Or on the first game, when he turns the ball over, or he has a mental lapse on defense, are we going to boo him at the Garden? I want to know where you stand. Are you rooting for Julius Randle this season? Me, as a Knicks fan that bleeds orange and blue, I root for anybody that puts that jersey on. But hey, maybe we're different. Type Y for yes, or you can go down and type N for no. Here at Chat Sports, we have multiple NBA channels, just like this one, New York Knicks Now. We have Boston Celtics Today. And me and my guy, Will Scott, we are in a subscriber battle. And it is wild to say that we have both picked up 103 subscribers this week. And I want to pummel Boston Celtics Today and Will Scott. I want to get the dub, and I know you guys don't like losing to the Celtics. So if you love the Knicks and you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube that does nothing except put out videos every single day, hit that big red button. Let's beat Boston Celtics today. There's rumors going around that the Toronto Raptors are interested in monitoring a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade. And you might ask, why are we talking about this on the New York Knicks channel? Because they play in the Eastern Conference, and right now the East is loaded, and I don't think the Knicks can afford to let another superstar end up going from a Western Conference team to an Eastern Conference team. And there have been multiple rumors that the New York Knicks are interested in also monitoring the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade rumors. This was what Josh Lewenberg, a beat reporter for the Toronto Raptors, wrote up. He said, one of the situations the Raptors are closely monitoring, according to a league source, is in Oklahoma City, where Toronto-born star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander may eventually tire of leading a rebuild. The Thunder have gone 46 and 108 over the past 2 years and don't seem close to turning the corner, especially after losing second overall pick Chet Holmgren to an offseason foot injury. The 24-year-old point guard spent the summer playing for Nick Nurse with the Canadian senior men's national team. So there is familiarity on both sides. I've already said it a couple times in today's show, but us as New York Knicks fans and the New York Knicks and Leon Rose, Worldwide West, you cannot afford to let another star go from West to East, and especially a rival team like the Toronto Raptors. You already missed out on Donovan Mitchell. That's okay. I wouldn't have made that crazy trade of RJ Grimes and 3 unprotected. But can they afford to let another team that they're competing with in the East right now get better by adding an awesome player like SGA? The dude is a freaking star in this league. He's only getting better and better. 19 points in 2019, 23.7 in 2020, and almost 25 points per game in 2021. This is a guy that's going to continue to get better on offense, and he's already a stellar perimeter defender. Could you imagine him with Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby? That is a scary team in the Eastern Conference. I think right now the Raptors and the Knicks are about neck and neck in talent, but if they get SGA, whew, it's going to be tough for the Knicks to compete in the Eastern Conference. So I'll ask you this. Should the Knicks go right now and try to trade for SGA? Should they lead the charge? And more so, get him so somebody else in the Eastern Conference can't get him? Type T for trade, type P for pass. I'm wondering what all the real ones think. And speaking of real ones, get yourself a real one Knicks Now t-shirt today, because they're flying off the shelves and people are hitting me up like, bro, I need my shirt. Well, this is what you got to do. You got to go to chatsports.com/realknicks. That's chatsports.com/realknicks. I'll put that link in the comments and description of today's show. They can't let another team in the Eastern Conference get better, because the East is already absolutely loaded. I cooked up my top 10 power rankings for the Eastern Conference, and it was tough. And I don't even know if I feel confident about this. This is what they look like right now, I think. I don't even know. I got the Milwaukee Bucks at number 1. Giannis is just so damn special. I got the Boston Celtics right there. And I don't really know if I feel all that confident about that after the Robert Williams injury news and the Ime Udoka stuff, but I still think they're going to be a top 4 team. I like the Sixers. I think Joel Embiid is one of the most talented players in the NBA. The Brooklyn Nets, I have them at 4. I mean, it's all going to come down to durability and health with that team. If you can get 70 games out of Simmons, Irving, and Durant, that's going to be a good team. And they also picked up solid role players like TJ Warren. And they also picked up Royce O'Neal and Markieff Morris. That team is loaded right now. I like the Cleveland Cavaliers a lot. You guys know I'm a big Donovan Mitchell fan. I think him, Garland, Jared Allen, there's a lot of players on that team, as well as Mobley. That team has a lot of young talent. They're going to be pretty damn good for a while. I think the Heat are one of my teams that take a step back this year. You lose a guy like PJ Tucker, and I feel like when you just stay the same team for a couple of years, you're bound to take a step back instead of forward. And I think Kyle Lowry is absolutely washed at this point. It broke my heart, to be honest with you guys, by putting the Atlanta Hawks over the New York Knicks. But I just think they have the best player out of these two guys, even though I like Jalen Brunson to give Trae Young the business. I got the Knicks at the number 8 spot, but that could change. Julius Randle comes out and plays like an all-star this year. Brunson plays like an all-star. RJ Barrett takes a step in year 4. They could move up. I got the Raptors at 9. Probably could add the Bulls at 9 or the Raptors at 10. I think those two teams as well. Look, I think teams 7 through 10 are all on the same playing field. That's how close it is. Look, the East is absolutely loaded. The New York Knicks cannot let the Toronto Raptors go trade for SGA. I don't know if the Knicks need to go trade for him. I like SGA. I wouldn't give up the farm for him, but I don't know if you can let another team in the Eastern Conference get better. Because right now, that conference is 100 times better than the Western Conference right now. I showed you my power rankings. Now I want to ask you, where do the Knicks rank in the East in your opinion? I think they're anywhere from 7 to 10. I think they're on the verge of being a playoff team compared to a play-in team, but they got to have some things go right this year. So I'll ask you to end today's show. Where do the Knicks rank in the East prior to the 2022 NBA season?